I have a feeling you're really going to like this video today because I'm going to be talking about something that you guys have been asking about for a while. And that is really, I'm going to be talking about the incredible event at XRP. But first, I want to explain to you why I'm no longer with ITM Trading, which you guys have been asking for a while. And so finally, I want to make sure that you know why. Because the loyalty of people that have been watching, my viewers, this community, is pretty much overwhelming. And you're going to see more of what I mean by that in just a minute. But as you guys know, I spent many years at ITM Trading since 2002. And together, we had a great impact on this industry. But frankly, toward the end of last year, it became evident to me that ITM and I had both grown and that we were now going in different directions and we have different visions for what that future looks like. After more than a number of discussions with ITM's management, I decided that it was best for us to go our separate ways. I'm very grateful for my past relationship with them, but now, quite honestly, I am so excited to embark on this new venture where I can make this vision come true and focus, frankly, on community. Now, I just got back from the XRP event. Now, this was a crypto event, and I was frankly completely blown away by the reception that I received. I mean, I couldn't believe it. To be honest with you, I didn't think anybody would show up, because it's a crypto event. Why do they want to come and listen to me talk about gold? But we have to also look at the future and realize the direction that it's going in. Because I want all of us, this is the point of community, I want all of us to have a seat at the table for the next iteration and hopefully have sound money as a component of it. So I went to this event, and as you saw a little bit of it, it was incredible. And I really want to thank Bradley Kimes for inviting me to this event. It blew me away. And together, I mean, this is the whole point of community, isn't it? People that buy cryptos have a similar desire to people that buy gold, right? They want to go outside of the system. They want to go around the system. So really, we are like-minded. I know people have said, well, why are you going? A lot of people actually ask me, why in the world would I do a crypto event? And one of the reasons is because we really have a like mind, but also because that's part of the community. And quite honestly, I don't want to let anybody behind. I want everybody. We're trying to grow local communities so that we can survive this transition, global communities so that we can have an impact on what this next monetary system looks like. And we all know that central banks are rushing to CBDCs and that crypto is getting the population and the public comfortable with that. So we need to have a seat at the table, and you can't do it by standing back and going, well, I just don't like this. I just don't like this. More, it's about coming together in community to make a positive difference for everyone. Tracy Shannon asks, hi, Lynette, being that there are around 200 countries with their own concerns and goals, do you feel not all of them will participate in CBDC? Well, the IMF and others are working on a universal CBDC. It makes the most sense to me, and I've been talking about it since 2009. It makes the most sense to me to have that universal CBDC to be handled by the International Monetary Fund, all of whose members are either Treasury Secretary, or not either, but are both Treasury Secretaries as well as central bank chiefs. So that makes a whole lot of sense because their SDR, their internal currency, is a basket of other currencies. and there's no limits. They can put every single currency in that basket. So I believe that what we're going to end up with is a universal CBDC managed by the IMF, who has also talked greatly about tokenizing all assets and all wealth. So gold and silver would be included in that. It doesn't mean that you have to participate in the tokenization, by the way, at least at this point, and that's why it's so critical that we come together to make a difference in that arena. But I can see the IMF's umbrella SDR being the one world currency and then easily translated into local currencies. The reason why that's important is because people won't know what's really happening as long as you don't change the name of that local currency. That's how they make the transition. They keep it hidden from the public. But if you watch us and you watch other people out there that are in the same space, in the same community, you will know what's happening. And you can make educated choices that put your best interest first. And Danielle Felstead asks, is holding 10% in precious metals enough? I don't think so. Neither do I. Right? That is like what a traditional, if you're dead set on holding precious metals and you go to a stockbroker, that's what he's going to say or she's going to say. And how are they going to want you to hold it? Through GLD, which is an ETF. It is not gold. It was simply created to look like the spot market movement. And if you guys want me to show you a perf chart again on that, actually, I'm going to do a video on the different ways that you can hold gold. So that'll be in there anyway. Having said that, no, 10% isn't even nearly enough. You have to sit there and say, okay, what am I prepared to lose? And then depending upon your current portfolio, let me back up. Okay. The strategy that I put together, Lynette Zang's original strategy, is operating in layers based upon your goals, your current circumstance, and what you have to work with, and you can evolve that. So depending upon that, if you are wanting to hold like crypto assets, I'm not going to tell you you can't do that, right? I'm not going to tell you you can't hold stocks or bonds. You have to do whatever is in your heart to your level of comfort, regardless of what anybody has to say. But part of the strategy is making sure that whatever wealth you choose to hold in the system is properly protected. And there are formulas that determine the fundamental value of gold, the fundamental value of silver, which is where it starts to express to when they do those overnight revaluations. So that if your entire stock portfolio goes to zero, or there's some other losses or fees or costs or whatever, you're covered. This can go down, that will go up. Proper diversification has to include tangible assets, has to include tangibles. Okay, Scott M. asks, is it safer to store your own gold and silver or vault it with a company? Well, quite honestly, I believe in diversification there as well. And again, going back to those layers, some of the gold and silver and cash, right, you're going to need as your first and second line of defense. So if you are going to vault it, I mean, obviously, I'm really visible. So other than the few little bits of gold that I show you and silver that I show you occasionally, I hold it in a private vault, not a bank safe deposit box, but a private vault. But I have it diversified there too. So I just finished editing. And remember the countdown clock, right? We're going to be open for business. So ideas on where you can hold it, lots of ideas on where you can hold it, there'll be a tab for that. And so whatever your circumstance is, however you feel most comfortable, but diversify it. You know, have your barterable portfolio one place, and depending upon, like for me, I'm covering myself as well as my 2 daughters and their families. So I diversify where and how I hold this, and I think everybody should. And Teaspoon P asks, "Hi Lynette, thanks for all that you do." You are very, very welcome. I do it for you. Honest to God, you are who I work for. Any ideas on what we should look for to judge timing on when to pull money out of banks? Well, that's a very deep question. I have a certain level of cash that is pulled out of the bank already for 2 reasons. Number one, because I don't know when you're going to lose that option. I mean, in Australia, they're warning you, at least one bank, and I'm going to be talking more about Australia next week. Well, hopefully next week. We've got some things in the works right now, so keep your fingers crossed. But there is a bank in Australia that is going completely cashless by the 20th of this month, May 20th. We don't know when all of those options are going to be over, nor do we know. Some think that there's already a chip in the currency, but they plan on putting a chip in the currency that would mimic whatever the interest rates are on your saving and checking account. So, I think you should do it sooner than later. And again, going back to the strategy, depends on your circumstance and your level of comfort. But let's say you're young and you're still working, maybe you need 3 months worth of cash outside of the system. If you are pulling income from the assets that you have inside of the system, like mutual funds or stocks that are paying, or bonds that are paying you interest and or dividends, well, to be perfectly honest with you, you need to replace that income potentially, because what are you going to do if they say no? So there are certain levels, again, based upon your needs and where you are in the system. And check out the countdown clock on LynetteZang.com, and you'll know when we are going to be available live to talk to you and help you set up your goals and your personal strategy. And by the way, something else that you're going to see on LynetteZang.com website is a schedule of where you can come and see me live, right? And all of any of the upcoming interviews that I have. I want a lot more interaction with you guys. We are all part of the same community. So let's come together, and that way you can anticipate things and maybe join me in some really fun things that we have going on. So if you'd like to show your support, please give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, share, please, and make sure that you subscribe and hit that bell. And if you have any questions, send them to questions@LynetteZang.com, or anything else, comments, hello@LynetteZang.com. Pretty soon you're going to be able to talk to us in real time, live. I'm so excited, and thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you click the next video on my channel right here, because together we can make a positive difference for a lot of people, and that's my goal. And I hope that's your goal too, because we are all part of the same community. So until we speak next, please stay safe out there. Bye-bye.